Me and bush flying. Nothing could possibly go wrong with this. Hello everybody, welcome aboard. Welcome to Hope, Alaska, aboard a piece of DLC. Actually, technically, it's quite actually a piece of DLC. This is done by Lionheart Creations. We have a Piper Pacer. This is one of 4 different styles of Pacer you get in this DLC. You get the bush plane, you get the tail dragger with fairings over the front wheels and the small front wheels. You get a amphib, and you get a tri-pacer, which is obviously the nose wheel type thing instead of the tail wheel thing. And then on top of that, with those 4 styles, you get a total of 34 liveries. That's a lot of livery. Additionally, it doesn't end there. You also get Hope, Alaska. You get scenery around Hope, Alaska. Now, I'll tell you this much. The scenery kills your frame rate. I don't know why, but when I'm here, my frame rate is never very steady. Additionally, I have not been able to actually find it, but somewhere around here, somewhere around Hope, Alaska, there's a crashed UFO that this DLC also puts in. There you go. Let's take off, and then we'll talk about the Piper Pacer, and then we'll talk about the DLC. Alright, so let's drop some flap. Let's turn the noise up a little bit. We're going to fire up our Lycoming O320B 4-cylinder, 4-stroke, air-cooled, horizontally opposed piston engine, 160 whole horsepower. Alright, those screen freezes that you saw, that was the scenery around Hope, Alaska. It really is that bad, and I really don't have an answer as to why. I think that the airplanes on the Hope, Alaska tarmac, grass, are fully detailed models instead of empty models, so I think that adds some serious heft to the scenery. Interior of this aircraft. Look how beautiful it is. Let's look a little bit closer. Look at how beautiful this interior is. Let's turn on our those are off. Let's turn on the. I mean, look at that. Listen to that. That noise. I mean, they added the noise of you clicking the little piece, the little toggle switch. It's a nice looking aircraft all around. We have a wallet down here. If I click the wallet, look at that. Now I'm carrying cargo. Now I'm carrying passengers. Do I want to be a cargo plane or do I want to be a passenger plane? It's all up to me. It's actually pretty cool. All right, let's talk about our Piper Pacer. Slightly weathered there, but that's all right. The PA-20 Pacer and the PA-22 Tri-Pacer are a family of 4-place, strut-braced, high-wing light aircraft that were built by Piper Aircraft in the post-World War II period. It's essentially a 4-place version of the 2-place PA-17 Vagabond light aircraft. It features a steel-tube fuselage and aluminum frame wing covered with fabric, much like Piper's most famous aircraft, the Cub and Super Cub. An aircraft prized for its ruggedness, spacious cabin, and for its time impressive speed, many Pacers are still flying today. The PA-20 Pacer was originally designed as a tailwheel aircraft and thus had somewhat limited forward visibility on the ground and more demanding ground handling characteristics. To help introduce more pilots to easier, safer flying, from February 1951, Piper introduced the PA-22 Tri-Pacer with a nose wheel instead of the tail wheel landing gear. Both the Pacer and Tri-Pacer with a Both the Pacer and the Tri-Pacer belong to a subgroup of Piper aircraft called short-wing Pipers. At the time, the tricycle undercarriage became a popular preference, and in 1953 saw the P-822 Tri-Pacer outsell the Pacer by a ratio of 6-1. That's not an insubstantial amount. In 1959 and 1960, Piper offered a cheaper, less well-equipped version of the Tri-Pacer with 150 horsepower Lycoming 032, designated the P-822-150 Caribbean. Over 8,000 Tri-Pacers were produced between 1953 and 1960 when production ended. As of 2006, which is a while ago, but it was when I found the time, over 2,000 were still registered with the FAA. An unusual feature of the Tri-Pacer is the incorporation of bungee link ailerons and rudder. Besides simplifying the coordination of in-flight maneuvers, this system, which can easily be overcome by the pilot as required, allowed the installation of a simplified form of autopilot marketed by Piper under the name Auto Control. A small number of P-822s have been converted to taildragger configuration, resulting in an aircraft that is very similar to the P-820 Pacer, but retains the model refinements and features of the P-822. These conversions are often referred to by owners as P-822-20Ss, and are often listed as in classified aircraft ads as such. Although officially such converted aircraft continue to be designated by the FAA as P-822 Tri-Pacers. A trainer version of the P-822 Tri-Pacer was designed and designated the P-822-108 Colt, was intended to compete directly with other popular trainers of the day, such as the Cessna 150, and was powered by a 108 horsepower Lycoming 0235. Over 2,000 Colts were manufactured during the 2 production years. That's 1,000 aircraft a year on average, people. Our crew is one lone fella. Look at him. Capacity is 3 passengers. Our maximum speed is 141 miles an hour. That's 227 kilometers an hour. We have a 500-mile range with reserves. That's 805 kilometers. Or an endurance of 3 hours and 30 minutes at 65% power with 1 hour reserve. It is a nice looking aircraft. That's a mountain. It's a nice looking aircraft. I like that. I mean, like, look at the nose. There's all the dings on the nose. There's missing bits of paint. This aircraft has seen service. It's not just some newfangled kit. Here it goes. All right, let's get inside. Let's see what kind of views we got. So shift 1. All right, there's our dash. 2. There's our comm stack. 3. There's our GPS. 4 is altitude, airspeed, RPMs, compass, fuel quantity, and that's it. Okay. All right, let's see if we have any other views, because this plane seems to have some views here. Aircraft. We have lots of views. High nose shot. Tail taxi view external. That's okay. Tail. All right. Right quarter close. That's, yeah, left side. We'll go with that. All right. Let's see if we can land this sucker. The throttle down, the thump noise that this aircraft makes is pretty nice. We're gonna try to cut our speed. Yeah, not something you would actually do in real life, but get over it. We're gonna cut our speed by kind of winging the aircraft around a little bit. Alright, so we do get this Hope, Alaska airfield. I'm not pleased with the frame rate that I get out of it. Oh, are we going to make this landing? I don't think we are. Not like that, we're not. Oh, there we go. Come on, baby. Are we on? We're going to die. Let's avoid the death. Woo! All right, that was fun. Let's try that again by turning around and trying one more time the other direction. You know, like you probably should. There's a dead tree right there, so I'm going to avoid the dead tree. All right, let's try this landing one more time. Maybe. Should have got the amphib, then I could have gone landed on the water. It would have been safer. All right, now we've got more runway. Whew, doggy. Gonna stop plane? Really use you stopping? Oh yeah, there we go. Whew, we made it. We lived. So I'm kind of saddened by the textures of Hope, Alaska overall and the frame rate drops. If I continue scrolling, I'd get another frame rate drop. The aircraft itself, though, isn't too... There goes my frame rate. Isn't too bad. I really do like the look of the aircraft. I like the flying feel of the aircraft. It's a lot more... you can fling it around a lot more than you can with the A2A. But it's not terrible. Now the question is this aircraft worth the price? The list price of this DLC, including the Hope Alaska, $19.99. Now let's think about that. Let's call it $20. I got 4 styles of aircraft. That's $5 a style. That's not bad. I got 34 liveries. That's not bad when you consider a per livery cost. And I get Hope Alaska and a UFO to go find. What do I think? Well, if the frame rate at Hope Alaska was better, I'd actually count Hope Alaska as a value in this DLC. But I don't, because the frame rate isn't all that great. But $5 for a good plane, and there's 4 styles of them. That's not bad. I'd say it's actually not a bad value for money, given what you get. If you can get the DLC to work cleaner, it's even better. But there you go. Lionheart Creations did this DLC. This is the Piper Pacer. This includes the Pacer and the Tri-Pacer. Pretty nice piece of DLC. If you can pick it up on sale, you'd probably like it even more. I've been DerTebbers. This has been your Flight Simulator X DLC Spotlight, the Piper Pacer, along with Hope Alaska, by Lionheart Creations. Till next time, don't land this plane like I do, because good Lord, what was I thinking?